Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Jesus Alejandro Ramos Jr., to give him his full name, 24 years old, southpaw from the US. He is the new WBC interim middleweight champion. Now, of course, interim belts, I don't give a fuck about them, to be honest. They don't mean anything to me. But, I guess to the fighter, it means something because it means that they are right in the firing line of getting a shot at the full fat title. And the middleweight division, it's kind of in a moribund state. There's not a lot going on there. It's one of the traditional 8 weights, very much one of the traditional glamour divisions, but there ain't a lot going on. And Mr. Ramos Jr., Senior Ramos Jr., defeated Shane Mosley Jr., another junior, by unanimous decision. 2 lots of 117, 111, and 116, 112. I had it closer. I think I had 115, 113 or something. Because, the weight of punch from Ramos Jr. was definitely there. Mosley was busier for a lot of the fight, but wasn't landing a lot of clean punches. He was landing enough to win rounds. Again, I think this was a bit closer than the commentators and the judges said, but you could argue, well, what do you know? Mosley Jr. came in with 22 wins, 12 KOs, and 4 defeats, all on points. He's now lost his 5th fight, and that's on points as well. So nothing wrong with his chin. By the way, he's 34. I didn't realise that. I thought he was maybe, 29, 30, 32 at the most, 31 at the most, maybe. No, 34 years old, Mosley Jr. And this is probably the closest he's going to get to a world belt, because about 15, 16, 18 months ago, whatever it was, he beat the remnants of Danny Jacobs, a 10-round decision. He's also, he's got a 10-round majority decision over Gabe Rosado, and he actually lost to Jason Quigley, didn't he? That was one of his defeats. That was a 10-round majority decision. Brandon Adams beat him over 10. Look, this rather illustrates the sort of state of the middleweight division, that you've got Mosley Jr., who's an okay fighter. Nothing wrong with him. Is he world class? Would he last 5 minutes in one of the 160-pound divisions, main eras? No, I don't think so. But you could say the same about Jesus Alejandro Ramos Jr., because I don't think he's really any great shakes, to be honest with you. You put them together. This wasn't a bad little fight. It was an okay fight. Don't get me wrong. Ramos Jr.'s got 24 wins, 19 KOs, and he does have 1 defeat, and that's to Erickson Lubin, and that was down at 154, which kind of says all you need to know about the state of the middleweights these days. But he came back well from that defeat. I think I'm right in saying this is his first fight at middleweight, so I don't know how that works. How did he get an interim shot if this is a new division for him? I don't get that. These alphabet soup boys, they got some funny ideas, haven't they, to put it mildly. But anyway, the southpaw Ramos, like I say, yeah, he landed the heavier punches. I thought Mosley faster, quicker feet, quicker hands, taller, probably about 6'1" now. I think Mosley is. He's orthodox fighter. There were times when Ramos Jr. did land cleanly on Mosley, and Mosley took it well. We could also say the same thing if you put the boot on the other foot. I know Mosley Jr.'s only got 12 KOs and 22 wins, so he's not a massive puncher. So you could argue, well, Ramos Jr. didn't have to worry about the weight of punch coming back at him. But both guys showed, I think, decent chins. Ramos Jr. I think he really... It's difficult to say, really, because this was a fight where the rounds were very, very similar. I don't know whether there was any particular point where he took over, but with 19 KOs out of 24 wins, he's going to have... It looks on paper, at least, he's got the heavier fists, but he couldn't really put a dent in Mosley Jr., even though he did land flush. And there weren't a lot of body punching going on either. Occasionally you'd get the odd hook to the ribs, but I wanted to see more of that. I think maybe if Ramos Jr. had started earlier with some body work, because like I say, Mosley Jr. is very tall, 6'1", a good height for a middleweight, but a little bit of vulnerability, or a little bit of potential vulnerability anyway, to the ribs. But you know, Ramos Jr. didn't bother with that. It was an okay fight, you know. It was decent. I quite enjoyed it, to be honest with you. But are either of these guys going to be a real threat to the middleweights? I mean, bear in mind, Bud Crawford might drop down to middleweight. He must be licking his lips, you know, all those belts, and no one to really stop him having them. Yeah, it's not. It's not a great division, is it? Let's be honest here. It's not a great division. Ramos Jr. Can he move up and win the full fat belt? I suppose mainly. Who have we got in as the champs? I don't even know. I can't even remember. Adam Halliday was one of them, isn't he? Yeah, I don't really see a great deal. I mean, sounding back, Adam Halliday has got, I think, WBO and the IBF belts. He'll beat Ramos, I think. Carlos Adames, WBC. Yeah, I'd pick him to beat Ramos. I don't see a lot out there. I don't see a great deal of talent in this division at all, even if you look down the top 10 middleweights. So anyway, look, I'm belabouring the point somewhat, but basically I don't think that this guy is going to really do a great deal in this, that Ramos Jr. will be a leading light. Having said that, he is only 24, so it's quite feasible that he could improve if he keeps eyes on the prize, works hard, but I don't really see a massive talent, to be honest with you. I see a guy who is a good, earnest, tough fighter, but isn't really going very high. He's got the interim belt. Hopefully he'll get a shot at the main belt, take on Adames, but I think Adames will probably beat him. I could be wrong. But at 24, he can learn. You know, he's got time to learn. But we'll see. Anyway, what do you think? What do you think of the state of the middleweight division? I'd like to know your opinions on that. I don't think it's in very good condition at all, but maybe I'm being a bit harsh on Ramos Jr. If you think I am, leave your comments below, no problem. What have I missed? Tell me what I've missed. Anyway, like I say, comments below. If you like this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel, because we've got lots of videos for you. But yeah, thanks for your time as always. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing, and I will catch you later. Bye for now.